I'm trying to understand the circumstances that caused Lazareski to shoot my great-grandpa. So Gloria suggested that I meet with Professor of History Stephen Hughes, who's asked me to join him at a local cafe. I need to know what happened here in Castelloncello. I don't know why Leopoldo, my great-grandfather, was here at all, and I don't know. I know he was killed here, but I don't know where, I don't know why.
Okay, he was murdered here. And what we have is from Il Telegrafo. This is a newspaper from Livorno. And the murder's mentioned down here.
And homicide in Castelloncello.
Right. And this is an actual translation.
Thank you. Yesterday at 6 p.m., this pleasant village was dismayed by an event that greatly saddened the inhabitants. Terzilio Lazareski recently settled in Castelloncello. He's a well-off man who works as a kiln operator. That fits with what we've been finding out. For reasons that are still unknown, he met a Francesco Bianchi from Cecina, he himself a kiln operator, after a few words just outside the Pilar de Morelli's cafe.
Local tradition maintains that this was the Cafe Morelli. Yeah.
Right outside this. So this cafe has been here that long?
Yeah.
Terzilio, who the night before had been insulted and beaten, fired a shot, killing instantly Bianchi.
This is actually the indictment, which has all the details of the murder.
Oh, this comes from the court records.
This comes from the court records, and you have to understand, even though it says it's the Lucca Court of Appeals, this is the case created by the government before his trial, and then their suggestion that he be tried.
Terzilio Lazareski on March 7th, 1911 in Castelloncello fired at Francesco Leopoldo Bianchi a gun from which the bullet struck the occipital region and exited the opposite side, and was the direct and only cause of his immediate death.
Yeah, so he was shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
The accused, Terzilio Lazareski, in January of this year acquired from Dionisio Bianchi, the father of the killed Francesco Leopoldo Bianchi, the business of a lime kiln in Castelloncello, and he employed Francesco's brother Tito. Okay,
Right.
so they were all, he said, let's all do this together and you can run it, and
Right.
and you'll oversee it.
Right.
The good harmony between Lazareski and the Bianchi family quickly changed to mutual animosity when Lazareski fired Tito Bianchi from his job on March 5th over suspicion of disloyalty.
That's a critical piece of the whole puzzle. In a business kind of situation, it could mean a lot of different things. He was cooking the books, he was talking to competitors. On the other hand, it could just be a reason to get rid of him. What's important, though, to understand the motivation of why they beat him up and why they were so upset, is this disloyalty is an issue of honor to Italian men at the time. So for them, for him to be dismissed for an issue of disloyalty was a major mark on their honor, on the family honor.
Well, also your whole business is at stake too.
Yeah, and in fact, if your honor was impugned, people wouldn't do business with you. Yeah, exactly.
But we don't know if Terzilio's claims were true or not.
Exactly.
Is it established that there was disloyalty or there wasn't?
Marisa Tomei is at the site where her great-grandfather was murdered. She's just uncovered that Leopoldo Bianchi was shot in the back of the head by Terzilio Lazareski over a business deal gone wrong.
Tito was fired for disloyalty.
Right.
But he had Leopoldo broker the deal.
Exactly. Leopoldo set it up. He did the mediation, he did the negotiations. And part of the negotiations were that Tito, his brother,
would keep working
there. I assume in some kind of, managerial position. And so when Lazareski broke that deal, for whatever reason, and we don't know. I mean, this charge of disloyalty is all that's in
what I'm saying. We don't know what that is.
That's all we have. And their issues of business and honor were very important to them. And so they were very upset and they came after him.
On the 6th, Francesco Bianchi was moved to strike Lazareski's face with his fists, causing wounds that healed in 7 days.
Right. I don't know if you know this, but Italians are very concentrated on the face, right? There are some very interesting laws about if you mark somebody permanently versus other damage to the body. And so any kind of blow to the face was an extremely serious offense.
On that evening, March 7th, Lazaretsky, seeing that Francesco Bianchi continued to maintain a threatening attitude towards him, armed himself with a revolver, and Leopoldo grabbed him, breaking 2 buttons off his waistcoat.
The indictment is taking that into consideration. You don't touch people in this society like that. I mean, that's an insult.
Having lost his self-control because of fear, and because he thought that Bianchi was armed with a revolver, anticipated by firing his own revolver at Bianchi, who fell dying. As Terzilio did this, Terzilio said, "E una," or, "and one."
He was going to go after Tito as the other brother because both brothers had threatened him and both brothers had insulted him.
There's Tito and there's Terzilio, and in the middle is Leopoldo, who's my great-grandpa. And he was defending his brother and his family and all the Bianchis, even his father, Dionisio Bianchi, who owned the whole business. It's interesting that this is 100 years later and this story is taken this long to kind of pull apart, because my brother had a dream when we were on a family vacation here in Castiglioncello. He woke up in the middle of the night and my little cousin, he talks in his sleep, my brother, and my little cousin reported back that he was saying, "Murder! Murder in the family!" We never know why he had this dream. And it's so strange that there was a murder in the family right here.